I'm here at the 100th anniversary of IFA Berlin, one of the biggest tech expos in the world, and it's hosted here at Messe Berlin, or Messe Berlin.
Yep.
Join me at IFA Berlin. Now, a few weeks ago, I featured a pool cleaning robot from these guys behind me, Aiper. And I thought whilst I was here at IFA, I'd take a look at some of their other options, but they've surprised me by releasing a brand new version of their pool cleaning robot. So I want to take a look at that as well. Those are the X1 and X1 Pro, and they're pretty cool. There's something in it that I think will surprise you. But before we go and take a look at that in more detail, I want to show you one robot from their range which I was desperate to get my hands on but haven't yet tried it, for the simple fact I've not yet got a pool. Yet. But come with me and I want to show you what it is. Now, a big difference with this new X1 and X1 Pro series is this ability to scrub along the wall a lot further than the previous version. The previous version could only go so far before it had to then go back down. This just keeps going. It just keeps going, look. And you can see the paddles here scrubbing that waterline as it moves along. I mean, it is just keeping going. That's incredible stuff. Levitating again. Look, it's next to you, look! Turn the camera, have a look at that. It's still going. That is insane, and that's one of the newest innovations from the X1 and X1 Pro lineup. Let's go and take a look at it out of the water though, so we can see more. So this is the X1 Pro, and it differs from the S1 Pro in quite a few different ways. First of all, straight away, it's got more suction, it's got better mapping capabilities, it's got more sensors, and one important thing is you can communicate with this when it's in your pool underwater, which the previous one you couldn't. You had to actually lift it out before doing that. And the way that works is through the hydrocom unit that this will come with when it releases in a few months' time, I believe. I'm not sure the exact release date right yet, but now the hydrocom unit floats on top of the water and connects directly to your phone and just allows you essentially to talk to the robot while it's underwater, look at its mapping, look at where it's been, and generally run general maintenance. Now the hydrocom unit will also function as a water quality tester as well, which is a really kind of nice little touch to add onto it. And we'll see more from Aiper on that hydrocom unit in the coming months. But this is such a great addition to the entire lineup and brings their pool cleaning robots to another level. Now when it comes to mapping, the way this sort of adjusts to the pool shape is quite intelligent. It will work out how your pool looks. Let's say, for example, it's an L shape, and it will go backwards and forwards along one L and then go backwards and forwards along the other L. And the same if it's maybe a kidney bean shape. It will do one main part of the pool and then finish off by doing the other segment completely separately. And this is Aiper's new FlexiPath technology, and it's all kind of done through the new onboard sensors and new onboard brain to allow it to work out that path. Now what's good is it traces a path and traces a map just like traditional robot vacuum cleaners, something which the old version didn't do. You couldn't actually see a map of where it was going. So it's really nice to have this as an addition in my pool, just like we have on regular robot vacuum cleaners in the house. So that's everything with the X1 Pro. Now I did mention earlier that they've also released an X1. This X1 Pro is basically their flagship, but come with me, come down here. This is the Scuba X1, and on the surface, it looks almost identical. There's a slightly different control panel on it, and it also has a few less capabilities than the X1 Pro, but it's still a fantastic robot, and it's just a more affordable way of adding pool cleaning to your pool through a robot. Now the final addition to this is one I mentioned earlier with its increase in suction power, because that suction power is actually adaptable. What it'll do is it will take the water through itself to obviously filter, and if it senses that the pool is particularly dirty, it will increase that suction power and increase its capability to filter the water. And if the pool is very clean, it will kind of decrease its capabilities and decrease that pump speed simply to conserve energy, which means that essentially it will last a lot longer in your pool because it can tell whether or not it needs to heavily clean or not, whereas the previous one was just one setting and that was it. So this means that it can conserve battery, live for longer in your pool without having to take it out and recharge it, which I think is a really neat addition and helps this be a little bit less intervention-free than the S1 that we reviewed previously. Now, it is super hot, so I'm really tempted to take a dive into this pool and cool myself down a bit. But I wanted to bring you up here to show you one of the robots I haven't yet managed to get my hands on to test, but I want to, because it's that thing over there, which is the Surfer S1. Now, the Surfer S1 is really special in my eyes because it does something that the actual Scuba device can't, which is skim the top of the water. And as it goes across the water, it drives itself, it just pulls all of the dead flies and dead bugs and leaves and detritus all into its filter, which I think is amazing because there's nothing worse than going for a little swim in an outdoor pool than having a great big bug, dead bug floating towards you. It goes through my neck. Don't like that at all. I'm not a wuss, of course, but I like my pool to be clean. And the Surfer S1 certainly goes a long way into making my entire pool super clean because it does go backwards and forwards, skimming the top. And in effect, it will filter the top much faster than the filters on the side of your pool. So for that fact, it gets a massive thumbs up from me, but it gets a big thumbs up for one further fact. And as it comes over here, you might see it do so in a second, but on the very top, it's got a great big solar panel. And that solar panel keeps it powered all day, every day, just continuously going back and cleaning your pool backwards and forwards. Have a look at it. So that's everything from Aiper at IFA 2024. Some incredible innovations from the X1 and X1 Pro, both of which are absolutely amazing when it comes to pool cleaning, definitely worth taking a look at. But obviously one of my favorites is also the Surfer S1 because it gets rid of all those bugs from the top. I just need to convince my wife that we need a pool so I can get one of these devices. Now, if you do want to see any more of Aiper, I will leave a link in the description below to their website. And as well, if you want to see any more IFA content from me, I'll leave a link below to the playlist where you can check out all of our coverage this year for IFA 2024. But other than that, guys, I'll see you back in another episode real soon. And wish me luck while I go and try and convince my wife we need a pool.